The hangar was quiet for a hangar filled with dozens of stormtroopers. Once the Millennium Falcon cut its engines, the only sound that could be heard was distant alarms of the ship and the battle outside. The troopers stood frozen at attention. They knew what was inside the Falcon. Then the Braves slowly crept toward the boarding ramp, as if the slower they walked, the less likely the inevitable would come. They reached the ramp and pressed the button to lower it. And to their surprise, it lowered. Then their surprise turned to terror as 3 Jedi leapt out of the ship and began mowing the stormtroopers like blades of grass.
Master Skywalker, are they waiting for us to get tired? They just keep throwing stormtroopers at us. I'm starting to feel sorry for these troops. What do you think their plan is? They have to know by now that they need more firepower.
My guess is the plan is containment. They want us to remain in this hangar. Probably until Ben gets back up. I just can't figure out why I can't sense any other Force user on this ship besides us.
As if the Remnant was trying to make Luke's prediction come true, the stormtroopers began backing away from the Jedi, and 4 dark-side users appeared out of nowhere in the Force. And just as quickly, 4 red lightsabers ignited around the Jedi.
They are called Ysalamiri, Uncle. Snoke brought them back from the unknown region, small lizards that naturally create a blank space in the Force. They can be used to take away a Force user's power or hide a presence in the Force. For example, we have had a friend of yours for a while now. You can't sense him, but watch what happens when we remove the Ysalamiri from his cell.
At the same time, all 3 Jedi felt relief, joy, and guilt as they sensed Chewbacca's presence, weak but alive in the Force. Rey's guilt in particular took control of her actions. She had left Chewbacca on Starkiller Base. She had abandoned him. And now to make up for that, she would free him. But as she began to run, she paused only to hear Luke Skywalker yell,
"Keep going, Rey. Chewie needs you. Leia and I will handle the Knights of Ren."
You are all fully confident, Uncle, but I think you are being a bit reckless with my mother's life. She isn't the Jedi that you are.
Rey ran with reckless abandon, using Chewbacca's presence in the Force to guide her. Stealth wasn't her goal. Freeing the friend she abandoned was all that mattered, and she cut down anyone that got in her way, until she reached the cell block. She then composed herself, walked up to the guards, and used a mind trick to get them to open Chewie's cell. Then she had the troopers stun each other. Rey's heart sank as she first laid eyes on the Wookiee. He barely could raise his head to see her.
You look terrible. Well, Wookiee beauty standards are beyond my understanding. Come on, this is no place to die.
But Chewbacca was in no shape to walk. It takes all Rey's strength to lift the Wookiee, and even with the Force helping her, Rey knew the journey back to the hangar was going to be a long one. Leia Organa Solo trained to be a Jedi. She passed her trials, making her a bona fide knight. But that was 20 years ago. Since then, her political career and personal life took up so much of her time. Keeping up on that training took a back seat. And as the Knight of Ren runs his lightsaber through her stomach, Leia thinks maybe Rey was right when she said that Leia is just a politician. Luke and Kylo both were so focused on each other, they failed to see the Knight of Ren sneak up behind Leia and impale her. But they both felt it in the Force.
No!
Kylo Ren had changed when he killed Han Solo, but not in the way he expected. The death of his father made Kylo remember Ben Solo. Now, with the possibility of his mother's death, Kylo Ren remembers he is Ben Solo, and he is pissed. Ben quickly kills his mother's attacker, as Luke takes care of the other Ren and then rushes to his sister's side.
You need to get her out of here. We can't treat her on the finalizer. My medics will heal her just to execute her later. Get moving.
Not without Rey and Chewbacca. There was one more Knight of Ren that went after Rey. She won't be able to fend him off if Chewie is incapacitated. Leia would risk her life to save them, so I must do the same.
Just get my mother on board the Falcon and into some Bacta. I will get Kira and Chewie. Be ready to fly by the time we get back. And don't worry, I won't let any harm come to Kira.
It took all Rey's concentration in the Force to muster enough strength to carry the large Wookiee. And she was right about the trek taking a while. They were moving at a snail's pace. She had been concerned about what she would do if they ran into any hostiles, but none ever showed themselves. That is until one of the last hallways.
I hear you don't remember us, Kira. Well, I remember you, Miss High and Mighty Teacher's pet. I bet you are wondering why you haven't had anyone try to stop you from escaping with this beast. It's because I want to kill you, Kira. Even at the academy, I always wanted to.
Before she could put Chewie down and respond, Rey sees a red lightsaber stab into the Ren's neck and watched as his lifeless body fell to the floor. Standing over him was Kylo Ren.
You must come quickly. My mother has been wounded. Skywalker is tending to her, but she needs serious medical attention right away. Please hurry. But before we go, I want to make you an offer. I want you to join me, Kira. I remember who I am now, and I feel the dark side making me stronger than I ever was as a Jedi. If you join me, we can rule the galaxy in balance, the dark and the light, power and temperance.
Rey and Chewbacca made it the rest of the way to the hangar with no problems. Who would try and stop them with Kylo Ren as their escort? Once back on the Falcon, Luke's urgency was evident.
Oh, thank the Force you are both okay. We can exchange pleasantries later. I have stabilized Leia, but she needs more help than I can give her here. Rey, strap Chewie in and help me get the Falcon underway.
Master Skywalker, I've decided to stay with Ben. He recognizes himself again, remembers what he cares about. I can bring him all the way back. I may not remember it, but I feel the connection he and I share. I can make him good again.
Luke just stared for a moment, then walked past Rey and down the Falcon's ramp to meet Kylo in the hangar.
She believes you can be turned. I can't fault her for that. I too have been led by hope and faith. I also don't have time to have a discussion about her decision. So I am leaving her in the hope that she is right. But I am coming back for her. And when I do, whose side you're on won't stop me from tearing this ship apart to find and stop Snoke.
Snoke? He is not on this ship. For his dark side sickness to continue to spread, the source has to be on site. Snoke is the source. Snoke was at your academy when your students were exposed, and Snoke has been on Coruscant this whole time. Only he is powerful enough to maintain such a large undertaking as poisoning a whole planet.
Luke's heart sank. Shock covered his face. If Snoke is on Coruscant, that means Luke sent Finn and Maz Kanata to their death.
Worry not, my old master. I have love for Kira. I won't let any harm come to her. Now go. My mother needs medical attention. The finalizer and its ties won't fire on you, but I can't say the same for the rest of the fleet. Stay close to this ship until you have a clear path. May the Force be with you, Uncle.
Before I go, answer a question for me. Who is Snoke?
I am surprised you haven't figured it out yet, Uncle. Snoke is the Sith that trained Darth Sidious.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?